not the kind of person who thinks like hard line, it's better that 10 guilty people go free to avoid one innocent person being jailed. But
Yeah.
I'm not hardline on that, but I do think it's better for 10 drug dealers to get away with their money than for one innocent person to lose 100 grand. All right, let's see what else I got. I had another article in here. Oh, this is the good one. So a couple of weeks ago, there was a photo on my Facebook from the Dallas Police Department because I still follow the Dallas Police Department because I missed the place. Dallas, not the police department, but the police department's cool. Anyway, so they had a thing, and it was a picture of a police dog, and it said "Good boy."
He found a woman walking through the airport with a duffel bag of $100,000 in cash.
Yes.
Um, how he found that, I do not know.
Well, most cash has trace amounts of cocaine in it. Like most American dollar bills has a trace amount of cocaine on it. So if you have $100,000 in 20s, fives, and tens, there's probably enough there for the dog to sniff some cocaine. Okay, so here's the Facebook post. It says we need to get him some treats. K9 Officer Valentine does it again on 12/2/21. The Love Field Interdiction Squad seized over $100,000 with the help of Valentine. Good job, Valentine. It's a picture of the dog on the table with a bunch of cash. And my first thought when I saw this is like, seized for what? Like, they didn't mention a crime in this headline. This article was from the Dallas Police, and now there's an article from D Magazine covering it. And basically, they have not alleged. It's not that they haven't. It's not just that they didn't charge this woman with a crime. It's that they haven't even alleged that there was a crime involved. They have no idea where the money was going, what it was for. It could have been a down payment for a house, it could pay off a debt, it could have been anything. They have no idea. But Texas and several other states have laws called civil forfeiture, which allow police to just confiscate any money above a certain dollar amount in cash if they have reason to believe that it has been or will be involved in a crime. They don't have to allege what the crime is. They don't have to charge anybody. They don't have to follow up. All they have to do is just say, we believe this is going to be used in a crime, and they can take it. And they get to keep most of the cash that they seize in that way. And a lot of people, it can cost thousands and thousands of dollars in legal fees to recover your cash once it's been taken. But the government can just take it. And like there are small police departments that just fund themselves doing this. Oklahoma is really bad about it too. And maybe 12 years ago, there's a story about a Korean Christian band. They were driving all over Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, doing a tour, just driving a van with all their equipment in the back from church to church doing concerts and taking offerings. They weren't even having tickets. They were just going to church, doing a concert, taking a cash offering, and Oklahoma police took their money. Stopped just routine traffic stop and took the money and sent them on their way. And it's just like, I don't know how to describe that other than that's fucked up. Like, I like police, right? But that's fucked up. There should not be laws out there that allow police to just take money.
No, and I'm in agreement with that completely. The fact that you just go take cash from him without having, I mean, just thinking like, oh, well, you could commit a crime, so we can take your cash
Yeah.
from you, or we can take what we can from you. You should be able to prove that, like, they're on the way to go do something.
Yeah.
Basically, like, can't search your car without reasonable doubt to prove that something's been wrong. Now, the odds are of somebody carrying around $100,000 cash. I It's minimal that they're gonna be going to use that money for something good. It's not
But that's the
impossible.
basis of the law. That's the basis of the
Yeah,
law. People don't carry a lot of cash unless they're going to do crime. But if the money is usually going to be going to crime, then follow the money to the crime. Right? If
exactly.
you see all that money there and you're like, oh, this is going to be, wouldn't it be better? Wouldn't it be better to get the criminals and the money than to just get the money? And then, like, so the origin of the laws is because you would have these like drug cartel people who they would be operating in like a gray area where the police could never catch them, right? Like, they caught Capone on tax evasion. But so what they created this law, these civil forfeiture laws to fight the war on drugs because, well, you can't get them on the drug dealing, can't get them on the drug production or possession or movement or whatever, but you can take their cash, which will hinder their operations. Well, what we find out is that like if you confiscate $100,000 from a drug kingpin, he doesn't give a shit, right? He's got 10 more suitcases with just that much money,
Yeah.
all of just running around, and it never led to bigger arrests. It just led to the police funding themselves off of this cash, and it leads to innocent people. Like, you should at least have to have enough information to get a warrant. If you don't have enough info to get a warrant, which isn't a lot, you don't need a lot of info to get a warrant. You just need probable cause. Probable cause is not a high standard to get a warrant. If you don't have that much, you shouldn't be able to take somebody's money. um,
Exactly. I mean, where does the line go? When is too far? When are we crossing the line, I guess is what
mhm.
like when is it they're actually doing what they're supposed to be doing? And when is it, for lack of a better term, when are they becoming the crooks?
Right. Part of the reason that so many people are upset is that the police usually don't even try to find out if they were right. They just take the money and
Yeah.
leave it on the person who, like, if they take your money, they're not going to try to find out if there was a crime, there was going to be a crime involved. They're not going to try to hunt you down. They're not going to try to charge you with anything. You have to go get your money back. And I think that, like, I think if they went and confiscated this money and then spent the next 2 weeks trying to piece together some sort of crime, and if they couldn't figure it out, then just give the money back, I think people would be less upset. It'd still be fucked up, but I think people will be less upset. But they're just going to keep that money, and until she can put together five, seven, $10,000 to hire attorneys and go through the process of getting it back, they're just going to keep it. And if she doesn't do that, they're just going to, that's now the state's money, or I guess the city of Dallas. It's the city of Dallas's money,
Yeah.
right? They just
Well,
have it.
and even if she goes through the legal proceedings to try to get the money back, how is she definitively going to even be able to get it back? Because
I mean,
they
there's a
could very
process.
well.
There's a process. Like
Yeah, there's a
40% of the
process.
people get their money back, I guess. But and I mean, maybe that speaks to that a lot of the money is destined for drug deals.
Well, but is it destined for
But it
some
doesn't
sort
mean
of
it's.
other crime, or is that people just don't have the time, effort, and
I
resources to
mean,
go get
yeah,
their money back?
there's going to be a significant minority that just can't get the money back. They don't have the time. They don't have
Mhm.
the money, right? But there's also a significant minority that was criminal money. Yay! I'm glad you
Sure.
caught it, but you screwed.
Yeah.
You screwed a whole bunch of people. You screwed 7 out of 10 people to get the 3 out of 10 that were doing wrong, right?
Falls into the old saying of guilty by association
Yeah.
at this point.
I mean, yeah, but it's not even association with bad people. It's association with
No.
money. Like, guilty by association with a sack of cash. Like, if I were to go clear out my bank account right now, I would probably get arrested on the spot. Like, they would probably just be standing there waiting outside the bank for me. Like, why'd you clear out your bank account? It's like, because I wanted to meet some police officers. One
Just
of you is going
stand
to
there.
show up at the bank or at my house. Either way, it's fine with me.
I'm wondering if when you go to do that, if the police department gets some sort of, like, silent alarm notification,
Oh,
be
no,
like,
it's not the
"Somebody's
police
clearing
department.
out
It's
the
the
bank
FBI.
account."
It's the FBI gets an alert whenever somebody withdraws more than $10,000 from a bank account in cash.
Really?
Yes, if you
I
withdraw
did
or
not know that.
deposit $10,000. Now, the